We're making the best sugar-free pasta sauce recipe you'll ever taste. All right, so I'm using sweet Italian peppers for this pasta sauce, but you could absolutely use bell peppers. I just happen to have these because I'm with a CSA, a community supported agriculture. So my farmer grows these and I absolutely love them. But you could swap out bell peppers for this. I do suggest using either red or orange or yellow peppers. They're a little bit sweeter than green bell peppers and they are beautiful in the sauce. And you can see that I'm slicing these with a bread knife. Now that's because these peppers have such a thick skin, thick cell wall, that my regular knife tends to slide around on them a little bit. And so it's just safer for me to use the bread knife. So might as well. Now you can take out the membranes and the seeds, but you don't necessarily have to. You could just slice and throw them on your parchment-lined cookie sheet along with your sliced tomatoes. Now I've already sliced the tomatoes. I've got 3 pounds of tomatoes and I suggest about 2 bell peppers, but because these Italian peppers are so small, I'm using several of them. You're going to preheat your oven to 400 degrees and we're just going to roast those for about 20-25 minutes. Now I'm going to drizzle them with a little bit of olive oil. You don't have to if you don't want to, but it just makes a really nice caramelization on the skin of the peppers. But you can absolutely omit it if you are oil-free. And I am going to toss these with my hands. If you have a issue with that, I promise they're washed and clean, but you could use tongs if you want to. And you could salt and pepper right now, but these tomatoes are fresh again from my farmer and they are full of natural sodium. They taste amazing. So I'm not going to salt and pepper at this moment. But we're just going to put them in that 400-degree oven for 20 to 25 minutes. And now we're going to put them into our stock pot. You can add a little bit of olive oil here as well if you want. And we're going to start to build the sauce. Now, this sauce is amazing because you don't have to let it cook all day, but it tastes like you did. You could let it cook all day if you really want to and you've got the time, but I don't have that kind of time. But I'm going to save this tomato juice because that's the gold. So if you've got a little tomato juice, go ahead and try to save it, pour it in there. And to this, we are going to start adding our spices. So we're going to add a little bit of garlic powder. And don't worry, I'm adding fresh and a little bit as well. I like to really layer the flavors. That's some smoked paprika, some Italian seasoning, a little bit of salt and pepper, and then some red pepper flakes. You could omit that if you don't want any spice at all. We're just going to cook that over medium heat. You can hear it boiling away. And now I'm going to add in some fresh garlic. When you're eating plant-based, you really want to layer the flavors. So I like to use both fresh and dried sometimes, especially with garlic and with onions. Those are 2 of my absolute favorite spices, so you'll see me adding a lot. If you don't like it, then feel free to cut back on it. But we're going to heat this and let it come up to a gentle boil. And then we'll reduce the heat. And we'll let it simmer for 20 to 30 minutes until it's nice and thick. And if you want, you could always make a double or triple batch of this. and freeze it for, weeknight meals, for some meal prep. You could portion it in ice cube trays for single servings if you just need a little bit of tomato sauce in something, or in freezer bags. You can press it flat and save it. It's great with low carb pasta, zucchini noodles. This is a keto friendly pasta sauce. We're just adding some fresh basil here. You could do dried, but remember I added that Italian seasoning, so that was some dried basil and oregano. Now I'm putting in a little bit of fresh, because again, you want to layer it when you have plant-based food to really bring out that beautiful flavor. It's great spooned over spaghetti squash or just traditional pasta. It's also incredible as a pizza sauce. And when you roast those tomatoes, it really just brings out that incredible flavor. So you don't need to add any sugar like the store-bought sauces have. And I'm just using a stick blender to blend this up. I'm not running it for very long because I don't care to wear the spaghetti sauce. So be careful if you're using the stick blender and this sauce is hot. You could spoon a little bit at a time into your high-speed blender and blend it that way, but just be careful because it is boiling and hot and it will blow the lid off, or it could. But here's your beautiful sugar-free spaghetti sauce. It is amazing, and those flecks of beautiful caramelized peppers and tomatoes just really adds to that flavor. You can find this recipe and more at intentionallyeat.com.